Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Audio test. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Speaker, speaker.
Test mic. Boleh?
Test, test. Hello, hello. Test, test.
Cuba try. Dengar? Dengar? Dengar habis ni. Buat.
Test.
Mic check 1 2 3. Dengar. So audio dia okey tak? Ke perlahan? Tapi kalau aku dekat macam ni kuat sangat okey.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and warm greetings to all participants. As our program will begin shortly, I kindly ask all participants to mute your mic and be prepared as we will start the session in just a few minutes. For your attention, the QR code for the attendance form is now displayed on the screen. Please take a moment to scan and fill out the form. Thank you for your patience. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And greetings to all participants. Peace be upon you. Welcome everyone to this special webinar. My name is Siti Zulaika binti Muhammad Faizal Nizam, and I am honored to be your host for today's program. On behalf of University Technology Mara Shah Alam campus, I would like to warmly welcome fellow participants of Universitas Sriwijaya Indonesia. It is indeed our great pleasure and honor to have you here. I hope this session will be insightful and beneficial to all. Let's seize this opportunity to learn, share, and engage with one another. Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask you to take a moment and listen to the Malaysian national anthem Negaraku, followed by the official song of UiTM, Wawasan Setia Warga UiTM.
Bersatu kita warga UiTM, kita bangsa perkasa, taat dan setiaku untuk negara, penuh semangat wajar. Kita jangan mudah terlupa pengorbanan perjuangan anak bangsa.
Thank you everyone for your cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, to bless our program on this glorious day, let us together welcome Muhammad Zainul Izzuddin to lead the prayer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, hanya padamu sahaja kami padamkan kesyukuran atas segala rahmat dan berkat-Mu bersempena dengan Majlis Sulam KPPIM 2024 pada hari ini. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkanlah dada-dada kami supaya kami dapat berkongsi ilmu dan pengetahuan yang berguna di dalam majlis kita pada hari ini, iaitu webinar program AI, A Game Changer for Industries. Kami memohon kepadamu agar engkau berkatilah majlis ini dengan limpah rahmat dan berkat-Mu. Semoga segala usaha kami dalam menjayakan majlis ini mendapat keredaan dan hidayah-Mu. Sesungguhnya pada hari ini kami berkumpul kerana-Mu, Ya Allah. Kami memohon rahmat-Mu, Ya Allah, supaya kami yang hadir pada hari ini dapat memanfaatkan ilmu ini ke arah kebaikan di jalan-Mu. Oleh itu, Ya Allah, kurniakanlah kepada kami kekayaan ilmu pengetahuan serta muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan kepada-Mu. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Amin, amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Muhammad Zainul Izzuddin, for leading your prayer just now. May today's program be blessed by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The esteemed professor from Fakultas Ilmu Komputer, Universitas Sriwijaya, Indonesia, Professor Dr. Jeris Setiawan, the Honorable Executive Lineup of KPPIM, Professor Professional Technologies, Dr. Haryani Harun, Assistant Vice Chancellor of UiTM, Professor Professional Technologies, Dr. Wan Abdul Rahim Wan Muhammad Isa, Dean of Academy and International, Professional Technologies, Dr. Surya Sumani Hussein, the Lecturer of ICT SIS 552. The esteemed speakers, KPPIM students from UiTM, Muhammad Amir Sufi bin Zulkifli, Amir Zakara, Ku Adam Haris bin Ku Asmawi, along with the academic staff, students from Fakultas Ilmu Komputer, Universitas Sriwijaya and KPPIM, and all esteemed participants that are present both physically and virtually. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and greetings to all participants. Salam UiTM di hatiku, salam Malaysia Madani. Welcome to the webinar program, AI, a game changer for industries, held in conjunction with the closing ceremony of SULAM KPPIM 2024. We would like to express our gratitude to all participants who are joining us virtually via Google Meet and the official KPPIM YouTube channel, College of Computing, Informatics, and Mathematics UiTM. Your presence truly enlivens our program this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that our upcoming webinar session will provide valuable knowledge to all participants. The purpose of the talk that will be presented shortly is to explore the impact of artificial intelligence, known as AI, in various fields, such as cybersecurity, ethics, and industrial applications, and to empower communities with knowledge about these transformative technologies. We are very proud and grateful to play a role in the initiative to achieve the purpose of today's program. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Professional Technologies, Dr. Haryani Harun, as the Vice Chancellor of UiTM, deliver the opening speech and officially launch our SULAM program this morning. Let's warmly welcome her with a big round of applause. Excuse me, Professor, I believe that your mic is not on.
Okay, better now? Okay, thank you. Thank you, the very energetic Miss Chairperson. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to everyone. First and foremost, thank you to all of you for being here this morning. The esteemed Professor Deris Setiawan, Professor Fakultas Ilmu Komputer, Universitas Sriwijaya Indonesia, Professor Technologies Dr. Wan Abdul Rahim Wan Muhammad Isa, the Dean for the Academic and Internationalization, College of Computing, Informatics and Mathematics, or KPPIM, University of Gimara, Mr. Muhammad Nazrul Mohammed, Dean of the Students Affairs, KPPIM UiTM, and not forgetting Technologies, Dr. Surya Somari Hussein, who is the lecturer in charge for this program. Honored academic members of Universitas Sriwijaya Indonesia and KPPIM, UiTM students, and also those participating from Universitas Sriwijaya. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillah, praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With the grace and blessing, we are here together this morning. Although to tell you the truth, I am far up north in Malaysia, that is in Butterworth, going to attend another event after this. But Alhamdulillah, we made it to be here together. And let me extend a warm welcome to all our honored guests and also participants. And I am indeed very pleased that KPPIM has been entrusted to host a webinar which is very current and relevant today. That is the webinar AI, a game changer for industries. This webinar serves as an important platform to educate the community on the key ethical issues. Undeniable, this event is possible with the great assistance and support from our strategic partner, Universitas Sriwijaya. And the theme of today's event, AI, a game changer for the industry, is highly relevant, as mentioned just now, because it is very important in our digitalized world. As the new technology advancement continually innovated and embraced, surely there are some complex challenges that we have to face, particularly those involving ethical decision making. I cannot attest more when stating that making ethical decisions in IT is very challenging. It requires balancing different interests and dealing with uncertain situations. We need to uphold integrity and exclusivity in technology adoption. And we need to be mindful that our action implicate not just us, but those around us, the society, and also for our future generation. Therefore, having this program organized is very crucial, and it is a very noble effort because it offers an insights on how our young scholars intend to explore these challenges. Through our ethic course, content, and interpersonal upskilling activities, I believe our young scholars have taken the opportunity to embrace the importance of reflecting on ethical implications of actions, especially in the area like data privacy, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. Therefore, I look forward how our young minds plan to tackle the social technical issue, and I'm sure Universitas Sriwijaya cannot agree more with me that this is indeed a very relevant and crucial engagement that we are making here to guide the future generation towards a more responsible technological advancement. As we aspire to build strong future, it is imperative that we transcend geography and cultural ethics. Thank you, Universitas Sriwijaya, for being our partner one more time and manifest this possibility. And it is our hope that our collaboration will grow stronger and in multitudes. Congratulations to the organizing committee for their dedication in making this event possible today. And also, I would like to acknowledge our young speakers. Thank you very much, and may your sharing open up the lens to all of us today on how you envision the world towards a more ethical society. To the respected guests and participants, I hope you find this program fruitful and will start a momentum towards meaningful discussion that can inspire new ideas in creating responsible digital future. Let us all participate actively in today's session and ask questions, Share your perspective openly, and hopefully together we can foster responsible technology development, making sure it provides value to everyone in a positive and ethical way. With that, I wish you all the best and thank you very much. And I end with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Professor B.S. Dr. Fardani Harun, for your inspiring and thoughtful remarks. We deeply appreciate your time and the support you have extended to this event. Once again, we are honored to have you with us today, and we thank you for your continued leadership and dedication. Before we proceed with our event, I invite all participants to join us for a group photo session with the Assistant Vice Chancellor of KPPIM UiTM. Those joining us virtually via Google Meet are kindly requested to turn on your cameras for the photo session. We'll give everyone a moment to get ready. Please turn on your cameras and make sure that you're in the frame. The first photo will be a formal one. Ready? One, two, three, smile. Okay, another one. Ready? In one, two, three, smile. Last one. In one, two, three. Thank you all for your cooperation and those wonderful smiles. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our next session, we would like to present a special video montage that we have prepared. This montage captures the highlights of our journey and all the hard work that brought us here today. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy these moments together. Here is the montage for the webinar program, AI, a game changers for dentistry. We hope you enjoy it.
Voice detected. Welcome to the data core. To activate all features, please pass user verification.
productive and profitable thanks to artificial intelligence. Archana Shukla reports.
Thank you to all for watching the montage video. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for us to proceed to the main agenda of the day. I'm pleased to introduce our moderator who will be guiding us through the exciting talk and forum discussion ahead. Please join me in welcoming Muhammad Hasif bin Jasmi Apindi, who will now take over the session. Muhammad Hasif, the floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you, Siti Zulaika. Very good morning, everyone. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to guide us through today's session. We have some fantastic speakers and discussions lined up today. So let's dive right in. So right now, I would like to introduce our speakers panel. First, we have Amir Sufi, a technology enthusiast with practical experience in AI and data science competitions. He has joined MCMC Datathon and Huawei AI competition. I think that his works in these arenas, along with his role in cloud solution development during his internship in Japan, has sharpened his understanding of AI, real-world applications, and privacy implications. And then next, we have Amin Zakaria, who brings both academic and practical insights into AI and Internet of Things. He has participated in specialized AI training with Huawei and Amazon. He has also focused on the capabilities and ethical application of advancement AI technologies. Amir has also worked closely with students as a teacher, actually, which gives him a unique perspective on society impacts of AI and also digital privacy. And then finally, we have Ku Adam Harith. He has dedicated his part of his professional development to cybersecurity, completing foundational courses with Huawei and I think also IBM. His background in cybersecurity is especially relevant as we consider privacy is in the context of AI systems and their vulnerabilities. So together, I think our speakers can bring a well-rounded view on the topic of AI and privacy. So without further ado, I would like to invite our first speaker, Amin Sufi, to give his talk about AI and security. Amin.
Hello. I hope everyone can hear me well. First of all, I would like to thank the speaker for that great introduction. I also want to thank from a part of our team and also from committee of KPPIM and making this event to come to fruition. I also want to thank the dear participant that wake up early in the morning and come and to this webinar and listen to this talk. And although I might not be qualified as the other speaker in this webinar, I do hope that you guys can give me a little bit of your attention and just listen about what I have to talk about, and we might have have some kind of knowledge exchange between us. So well, and I also would like to thank the director for giving me this opportunity to give a talk about cyber security and AI. Well, so let's start with our talk today. So yeah, I would like to talk about the evolving relationship between the two powerful forces shaping our world, cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, which is AI. We all know that cybersecurity has long been a critical aspect of safeguarding our digital infrastructure. But with a rapid investment of technology, especially in AI, there is now an increasing reliance on machine learning and automation to protect against threats that have grown both in complexity in volume. Just the other day, my friend and I were discussing like how can we use this kind of system, and how can we make such a robust system that there's no any kind of unauthorized access to the backend system, right? So the question become, right, like how does exactly AI fit into the cybersecurity landscape, and more importantly, how does it enhance the traditional system that are currently in place? Well, let's start by looking at how AI can be used in cybersecurity. Uh, for example, AI and machine learning algorithms are particularly good at identifying anomalies within vast data set. Since it's AI, right? We only work with data. We analyze the data, and we come to we find some kind of relationship or some kind of hidden relationship inside the data itself, right? And this skill are crucial when it comes to let's just say a like example, right? It's very good at identifying a zero-day attack, which are previously an unknown vulnerabilities, meaning that they can only catch threats often by relying on a signature-based detection, meaning they can only catch the threat that have been seen before. However, a zero-day attack exploits a vulnerability for which there is no known fixes, making that particularly dangerous for the users and gaining access to their hidden information. So this is where AI shines, where this machine learning system can detect an unusual behavior that deviates from the norm. Um, it can flag a potential threat that have threats even before they are fully understood. For instance, AI can notice a subtle deviation in network traffic or the way that users interact with the system itself. And this can be an indication, an attack or malware that in fact that the traditional method might miss. So how does it really relate AI and data, right? AI is always we working with data and trying to find all of this. And one of the way that we can relate this is using a data topology. So what is a data topology, right? So data topology just refers to how data is structured, interconnected, and flows through a system. An AI model can analyze this complex data topologies, understand not just the individual nodes of information, but how they interact with a larger network. And this allow AI to predict a potential point of failure, or areas that where a system might be vulnerable. By learning the pattern inside the data flow itself, AI system can create a map of what we call normal for that specific environment, making it easier to detect and respond to any kind of irregularities. And you might ask, how does it differ to the traditional system that we've been relying so long? Since the old system can basically do the same thing, right? I mean, there's a set precedent about the traditional system that has been used, and AI technology is quite new in the recent years, right? And there's no precedents that we can use to compare both the traditional system and AI system. But let's just see what's the differentiate what we can understand about traditional system and also a system that uses AI in the built-in inside the system itself. Well, traditional system they operate with the predefined rules and pattern, and they're more reactive, meaning that they can only act once a threat that has already been identified. But with the AI system, on the other hand, is this more proactive? It learns from the experiences, continuously updating its understanding of threats and adapt in real time. This makes AI much more dynamic, providing a level of flexibility and foresight that traditional system simply cannot match. And this agility, right, it essentially, as we enter towards fourth industrial revolution, where automation and big data and AI converge to transform the industry from inside out. In cybersecurity, AI enhances the defenses by providing a predictive capabilities that not only react to threats but also anticipate the next threat that will happen, the next one, the next one, the next one. But of course, with this kind of system, right, with any kind of technological advancement or any kind of investment in what, on one hand, there's going to be a downside for it. There's always going to be some kind of challenges. And especially in cybersecurity, right, there's a defender and an attacker. We can apply a concept from game theory, which model strategic interaction between attacker and defender. So by using an AI as a defensive move, or as a shield, we inevitably introduce new ways for attackers to target our system, and often using AI themselves. In fact, there have been like cases where like malicious actors have developed an AI-driven attacks, especially in areas like audiovisual system. Maybe you guys have heard like deepfake technology, and also maybe you guys I'm sure like all of you have used ChatGPT before, where or some kind of AI services that they can mimic certain voices. Maybe, and one of the cases that I've seen so far is that they've used the voices of your loved one and use it to blackmail or blackmail the victim and gain some kind of financial benefit from that. And this kind of attacks often exploit the same algorithm designed to defend us, right? And turning the table, attacking us, the human. And AI automation and machine learning capabilities are incredibly powerful, but over reliances on this system can expose us to newer risks as defender build a smarter system, and attacker are also building a smarter system to breach us. So like for example, right, we innovate newer kind of shield. They're also creating a stronger spear to attack us, right? And so how can we move forward, right? How can we move forward with the AI in cybersecurity without falling into the trap of over reliances? Well, first of all, we need to understand and recognize AI technology is not something foolproof. It's not something foolproof. Like it has some kind of weaknesses. And AI and machine learning system, while effective, like one of the example is that they are notoriously difficult to analyze post accident, because like for example, if an AI-driven defense system fails, right, determining what went wrong during the operation is very much hard. Is harder than the from the compared to like the complex system inside the traditional system, because everything in AI system, right, they work in some kind of black box. It's very difficult to monitor the decision-making process during real-time operation. So this kind of problem, right, is very often like it's very often like, we came out over and over again. We can see like this problem with AI, not only in cybersecurity and also in other part of the spaces where AI is being used. That's why we, as the future developer in IT spaces, right, we must adopt a balanced approach. Well, of course, I admit that AI is a powerful tool. It should be a part of a broader multi-layered defense strategy that also includes human oversight, rigorous testing, and constant updates. We must identify a key vulnerabilities in AI system and ensure that we have a fallback plan when things goes wrong. And in conclusion, the integration into a cybersecurity integration of AI into cybersecurity represent an exciting leap forward, offering a powerful tool for detecting and preventing attacks. But of course, like Uncle Ben said once in Spider-Man, with the great power come with the great responsibility. As we continue to develop this system, it's crucial that we don't become more complacent by balancing innovation and innovation with caution, we can harness the full potential of AI while safeguarding against its vulnerabilities. Again, together we can build a future where doesn't just react to threats, it can also anticipate them, keeping our system and ultimately our role and privacy secure. Thank you. And now we can go forward with the Q&A session. If anyone have submit a question, you guys can just raise your hand and our moderator will read out the question.
So is there any question, either from the Indonesian side or from the UiTM side? So, okay, if there is no question, let's continue with our talk session. All right. Thank you so much for such an insightful perspective on the dynamic relationship between AI and cybersecurity, Hamzufi. It's fascinating and a little humbling actually, because to think that how these two fields both challenge and support each other in today's digital landscape. It is such a double-sided blade. You know, can bring us up and it also bring us down. From for example, from the proactive threat detection to sustainable AI analysis. I think that you have really highlighted the complexity of modern defenses. So now, to take this discussion further on, let's hear from our next speaker, Amir Zakaria. Is going to give a talk about autonomy, control, and moral responsibility in AI-driven systems. So thank you once again, Ami Sufi, for such thought-sparking start. So, Ami Zakaria.
Okay, thank you, moderator, and thank you everyone for being here today. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. And for the guests from Indonesia, selamat pagi. Harap semua elok-elok ya. First of all, before I start anything, I would like to welcome my mother who's also in this meet, Mama. Doakan semua okey hari ni, Mama. And then next up, my friends from Yemen. Ahlan wa sahlan. Min fadlik istam'i. Shukran jazilan. Mushawarma will be talking now. And lastly, my friend from Italia. Paci di voi Pierre. Sono il professore Peroggi. Grazie mille and have fun. Okay. So, if you look at my topic today, I will be discussing about the autonomy, control, and moral responsibility in AI-driven systems. Now, before we touch on these three aspects in AI-driven systems, let's look at the definition and types of AI that are available nowadays. Now, there are two types of AI. One of them, which has been covered by the previous speaker, Amir Sufi, is categorized as plus AI, AI-enhanced systems. Now, these are basically anything that can be used, but at the same time, it has been enhanced with the usage of artificial intelligence. And then next up, the ones that I will be discussing about, AI plus, which are systems that use AI as the core. Instead of using AI only to enhance, it uses AI as a core of the system, and it will help the system automate. But at the same time, we must discuss about the autonomy, control, and moral responsibility in these kind of systems. So everyone, basically in AI plus, there are two things that you need to remember. It consists of AI plus, the AI itself, and also IoT, Internet of Things. Now, AI plus itself, as I said, is an AI-driven system where AI is used as a core. Now, if you want to imagine AI in simple layman terms, you could imagine it as a infant who does not know anything. It consists of an input, which takes all the information and turns it into usable data sets. The brain itself, which consists of different algorithms, for example, could be machine learning, or if you take my final year project as an example, the 20 questions algorithm, and it processes the data and turns it into the output. The output itself is the basic process results of the data sets. And the last component of the AI is the human-machine interface. The human-machine interface is really important because it makes sure that the human being has a degree of control over the AI itself. Why? I will discuss later on. Next up, IoT. IoT things such as chair, the computer you're using, your phone. But IoT is basically things that are connected to the internet. And there are two types of connections you need to remember. One being cloud computing, everything connected to the cloud. And second being edge computing, basically two devices near to each other sending information between each other. So imagine this situation. I'm sure all of you have watched the movie Terminator before. Now imagine there's a fully automated nuclear defense system run by AI driven, which is AI driven. Now imagine how many things that could go wrong if there is zero human control. Who is going to take responsibility if the AI accidentally launches a nuclear missile to another country? Or who will protect the humans if the AI determines that, oh, all humans are threat, just like in the movie Terminator? Are we going to be safe? So that is basically what I'm going to discuss today, the three aspects that I mentioned previously: autonomy, control, and moral responsibility. Now let's look at autonomy first. Autonomy is basically the level of automation your AI has. Now, automation is basically how much your AI can do on its own without any manipulation from humans. But at the same time, control must be implemented. If everything is fully autonomous, good, it can be more efficient. But this could lead to unforeseen consequences, as I mentioned just now. So basically, control is the degree of control a human has over an AI. And humans, of course, have feelings such as empathy, sympathy, which is related to the last point, moral responsibility. Now, moral responsibility is basically who is going to take the blame if anything goes wrong, or who is going to be responsible if there's anything that goes haywire. Is it going to be the developer of the AI? Is it going to be the person who invented the AI in the first place? Is it going to be the person who bought the AI? All of these will be discussed today. So let's look at how these three aspects shape AI plus driven system nowadays. Now, the first case study is in healthcare. Now, basically in healthcare, there are so many examples, but I'm going to list down two. One being my final year project, which is basically a system, an AI plus system that uses your information to determine your levels of stress within a day. This is so far fully automated, but as I mentioned, there is a human machine interface so that I or the user can determine when to stop or when to not share information. And second being, as I mentioned over here, AI powered diagnostic tools that automate semi autonomously. Let's say that you're going to the hospital and you want to go for a checkup. Now, if you take the time to go to a normal doctor, it's going to take lots of time because A, there's a queue, and B, the doctor is not necessarily going to be available. Maybe the doctor has something. But if everything is done using AI, this will streamline the process altogether and therefore ensure that the process will be faster. But what if I go to the hospital and, well, I have a fever, obviously, but the AI says, oh, I'm sorry, but you have leukemia. What should I do? That is where control is important. Now, even though, yes, the AI can basically run autonomously non-stop all the time, however, a little human control is required, or in this case, a second opinion from a doctor or an expert. So that if the same case happened, like let's say it says that I have leukemia, even though it's just a fever, another expert will come in and say, don't worry, sir, it's not leukemia, it's just a fever, there's something wrong with the AI. So basically, every single decision made by AI must be reviewed before it could be turned into a final decision, and therefore the person can take action. Now, imagine this situation. This happened in, if I'm not mistaken, the early 2000s in America. Well, there was a nurse and there was a patient. The patient had to amputate his right leg, but the nurse made a mistake and accidentally amputated the left leg. So not only the patient now has a disability, but they also cut off the wrong leg, so the treatment was not really effective. Now, in this case, the nurse could be taken responsible. Yes, the families sued the nurse for, if I'm not mistaken, $500,000. But if this happens with AI, a fully autonomous AI, nobody has any idea who to blame. Should we blame the hospital? Should we blame the doctors, the developer of the AI? So this is why control is important, so that you know who to blame or who is going to take responsibility over the incidents that happen. Now, next up, everyone, self-driving cars. I'm sure all of you are familiar with Tesla. Now, Tesla produces self-driving cars which can bring you to anywhere you want, and you don't even need to drive. You just enter your location and it will drive you there. However, imagine this situation. Let's say that you're in front of a school. Okay, you're in front of a school, and there's a wall next to the school. The AI itself, it's not really biased. It doesn't have feelings, but it all depends on the training, one, and also the confidence level, also known as the accuracy, two things. So let's say that the AI has been trained to, let's say, reduce damage to the car, and the car is speeding down the road in front of the school. Now, it has two options, either crash into the wall, damage the front of the vehicle, or crash into a group of children. Now, if a human was in this situation, the human can just simply crash into the wall to prevent any fatalities. But if the AI was trained to reduce damage to the car and it determines, okay, if I crash into this group of children, it's going to make sure the car isn't destroyed. So it instead ends up taking more lives than it plans to save. So this is why human control in these cases are important, because humans, we have, as I said, feelings, sympathy, empathy. So if we're in these situations, if we see a group of children and if we see a wall, we would crash into the wall instead of endangering the lives of children. But the AI, as I said, no feelings at all. It all depends on the training of the AI itself. Okay, next up, robotized manufacturing, basically using AI inside of factories or inside of the manufacturing sector itself. So nowadays you can see that there are already robots in places such as car manufacturing factories, yes, but these are not really fully AI driven because there's still a technician, there's still a person in charge of controlling the cranes, the gathering of components and such. But using AI, this could reduce not only the time needed for manufacturing. Let's say a car takes around what, 3 hours to produce with the help of both humans and AI. But with only AI, it could take around maybe 1 hour. Yes, this does improve efficiency. However, let's take this case study in predictive maintenance. Now, predictive maintenance is basically ensuring a type of AI that's used to ensure small problems do not become bigger problems. Let's say in the example of a broken pipe in a factory. Now, if the AI sees that broken pipe, it will notify the technician, and then the technician will check and determine whether the factory will be shut down or not. Now, let's say this is fully autonomous. The AI sees the broken pipe and determines, yes, this could endanger their operation. So basically, it just shuts down the factory and calls the maintenance crew immediately. Even though this could be efficient, but in the long run, this could lead to many other problems, such as, for example, maybe it's just another irrelevant repair that is needed. But the AI thinks, oh, no, this is a threat. I should call someone. And this will in turn reduce the efficiency of the factory itself. So basically, whenever using AI in robotized manufacturing, we need to balance both control and also efficiency to make sure that we can gain the benefits of using AI, but at the same time, we have some degree of control to prevent anything going wrong. Okay, lastly, something similar that was covered by Amir Sufi just now, cybersecurity and also financial transactions. Now, imagine this situation. I'm a security expert in a company. How many illegal transactions do you think I can block manually without the help of AI at any given time? Maybe one, maybe two. But nowadays, lots of things happen online, lots of scams, lots of types of phishing hacks, such as the SQL injection. So lots of these happen at a given time, and one person is not enough. But using AI itself, AI can basically detect these fraudulent activities and block these transactions within milliseconds, and it could lead to more efficiency. However, as I mentioned previously, simulating to the medical sector, there must be a second opinion because there are situations in cybersecurity, for example, where the security certificate of a website has expired. It does not mean that the website itself is dangerous. It just means that the certificate has been expired, but the AI might accidentally detect it as a false positive and therefore block transactions to the website itself, leading to somewhat of a DDoS attack. So if there is a second opinion, the AI will notify the person in charge, the security person, or maybe the person in charge of looking after the servers and such, and make sure that these transactions are both safe, and also the AI diagnoses the proper situation. So to wrap things up today, yes, it is good if everything is autonomous. I will not lie. Yes, you don't need to waste your energy. You don't need to waste your time. You can just run it automatically in the background and go with your day. But the balance here is the most important thing that you need to consider. Autonomous AI systems are good, but we need to balance autonomy and control. Complete autonomy, as I said, can lead to unforeseen risks. Maybe like the situation with the self-driving cars. The car might accidentally crash into people instead of saving lives. Or maybe as in the movie Terminator, where the AI accidentally bombs everyone because it thinks humans are a threat. So this is where the concept of human in the loop emerges, where systems involve both humans and AI collaborating closely with each other and ensuring that you can not only take advantage of using AI, but humans also retain the ability to intervene and prevent consequences whenever necessary. And we must also ensure that moral responsibility is well defined across AI driven systems. As I said, AI has no feelings, but humans do. We have sympathy, we have empathy. So, organizations must always deploy these technologies and have clear accountability frameworks and make it very clear who we should blame whenever things go wrong. So that at the end, there will be someone responsible and they can actually take action instead of everything just being ambiguous. Now, to conclude everything, the key in effectively taking the advantage of AI plus technologies is getting the perfect balance between AI and human control. Now, before my Q&A session, I have a pop quiz. I have 3 questions, and feel free to answer inside of the chat box, or you can open your mic. Now, for the first question, what kinds of components make up an AI? I will give you some time to put in answers. Okay, I see some very interesting answers. Second question, give one example of an AI plus driven system. Don't worry, Pierre, you can ask questions after the pop quiz. Tesla, okay. Now, last question. Does AI require a human-machine interface? Okay. So now that I have seen quite a few answers, let's look at the answers to the questions. Now, first of all, the AI itself, as I said, it's basically like an infant where it consists of four different components. The input, for example, it could be a microphone or maybe a camera that takes the video, the brain, the algorithm of the AI itself, where it could it's going to basically process all of the data that it takes using from the input. And lastly, the output, the results of the processed information, and the human machine interface. Now, second, Tesla is correct. Yes, autonomous vehicles. There's also other examples such as ChatGPT or maybe the AI in TikTok, the one that recommends your videos on your FYP. And number three, yes, that is correct. It is very important because, as I said, some human control is required to ensure that the AI itself is safe to use. Now, let's move on to the Q&A session. Feel free to ask me anything. You can ask me questions inside of the chat box, or you can just turn on your microphone and ask me.
Selamat pagi, Professor Dr. Amir.
Buongiorno, Pierre. Come stai?
Baik, baik. Terima kasih, terima kasih. Actually, I was very interested to your presentation when you talk about moral responsibility. I tested a couple of artificial intelligence as a means, as a self-teaching tools for foreign languages. And I noticed that these artificial intelligence systems are controlled by political oriented algorithms. So, for example, a couple of times I tested the two different artificial intelligence. One is Maya and another one is the Gemini. When I ask this question, imagine, for example, if somebody without any supervision by anyone plans to learn Italian language. And I noticed that these artificial intelligence systems are politically oriented by certain militant groups. So, for example, if you interrogate the artificial intelligence regarding the distinctions between masculine and feminine nouns, actually the artificial intelligence replies that there is no such distinction between masculine and feminine nouns. But this, of course, is a politically oriented language. So that's why until now I feel that I have no idea about using artificial intelligence inside the hospitals or for driving cars. I only tested for languages. So I really, I mean, from my personal experience, I do not feel that these artificial systems are trustable. What do you think?
Okay, so if you want my thoughts on that situation, as I said just now, the AI itself is not really biased. It's the people making the AI that can be biased. Like, let's say, for example, there was a case, an incident on Twitter where there was an AI chatbot that was deployed to Twitter. And they basically gave everyone the chance to train the AI. Now, at first, nothing went wrong. Okay, there was nothing wrong with the AI itself. But then there was lots of, I'm not sure if you're familiar with these terms, lots of trolls. You know, these trolls, they
Yeah,
train
yeah.
the AI to
Trolls,
say
trolls, yeah.
really racist things, really hateful speech. And in the end, the AI itself became a really racist AI chatbot. Even though the intentions in the beginning, it wasn't really meant to be that kind of AI. It was just meant to be a friendly chatbot. So your opinion is actually valid. Yes, there are some situations where AI is not really safe to use if it's more biased toward people. And it could be like situations where, I mean, nowadays we have lots of wars, lots of political issues. And whenever someone produces an AI, the key here, another thing that's very important is also transparency. The people creating the AI must always show that they do not have any bad intentions and they don't really feel any biased feelings towards anyone. Okay. Now, does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, but I wonder why, for example, instead of only giving one side of the story, why they don't give any kind of stories, and then the users will make the selection. But honestly, when we are only exposed to one theory, then people think that that theory is the truth. But I would like to see an artificial intelligence where they explain maybe 100 different theories, no problem, even conflicting each other. And then at the end, is the user who will make the final selection. But we cannot really trust 100% what is the response for the artificial intelligence, because, as I said, they are fully political oriented. For example, just now you say how this artificial intelligence is trained. It also depends. If you only give one kind of information, for example, climate change. Climate change, they only expose some scientific theories, but they willingly ignore other theories from other scientists that we might like it or not. But people, if only inquire artificial intelligence, they will never know about these critical theories towards climate change. So people think there is a unique thought about climate change, and actually it's not true.
Okay, I see. So, like I said just now, okay, people nowadays, like, we don't really have the same opinion. Like, even me and my close friends,
Of
we
course,
don't really share the same opinion.
of course.
So the same thing can be basically used with the people who create the AI itself. Yes, some people might think that climate change is not real, but at the same time, some people might think climate change is real.
Yes, correct.
So it all depends on the people creating the AI itself. Okay. Like, there's no such, for the time being, there's not really much choice in an unbiased AI, but maybe looking forward in the future, maybe there will. Which is why, as I mentioned in my speech just now, it is very important to always ask for a second opinion. Whenever an AI says something, a second opinion must be given. It's better if you get a second opinion from a expert. Like, for example, using AI in healthcare. Yes, even though the AI says you have this kind of disease, but you need to always ask a second opinion from someone who is not biased, another person. Okay?
Maybe not only a second, but maybe also a third and fourth,
Third
and
and fourth, yes, and so on.
until maybe 20 different opinion. Yeah, because maybe two are not enough.
Because as I said, AI, it all depends on the people creating the AI. It can't be biased towards something. It can be neutral. As long as the person creates it determines what the AI will think towards certain topics. Okay.
Yeah, but if we look who create artificial intelligence, we can count in on the fingers of one hand only these people belonging and working in the Silicon Valley. So we can even mention the name. I mean, they're not 200 people that are working on artificial intelligence. There are only 3 or 4 or 5 guys. We know who they are, and they pretend to control the world in this way.
Well, for that part, it's basically it just takes whoever who's in this case the juggernauts of the AI technology. In your example, yes, there could be just a few experts, a few people who created the AI due to the reason being they're from a more prominent country. But people from less popular countries or less popular situations, they cannot really create much and produce it to a much more bigger scale. In the end, the bigger fish always wins.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, does anyone else have any other questions? Grazie mille, Pierre, for the
Yeah,
excellent question.
thanks to you. Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Okay, yes, Afnan, please open your mic or chat. Okay, I have space for one more question before I can move on. Okay, if there are no other questions, then that's all from me. Oh, wait. How can they can every program to respond ethically in crisis situations? That is also a very good question. Thank you, Teacher Afnan. So, as I mentioned previously, it all depends on the training of the AI and also the confidence rate. Now, the confidence rate of the AI itself, it determines how well the AI will perform in certain situations. Let's say in an automated car, okay, for example. Now, you will feel more confident to be in an automated car that has a confidence level of 99.9%. But let's say the confidence level is just 70%. Would you be confident? Would you feel safe to be in that car? The answer is obviously no, because the margin of error is way bigger. So maybe in the coming future, because nowadays there's not really much AI that can be programmed to respond ethically in crisis situations, there will be an AI which can be used reliably in crisis situations such as natural disasters or emergency, deployed in maybe keeping track of the survivors of a storm, or maybe keeping track of situations overseas and such. But nowadays, there's not really much that can be referred to, since there's not really many examples that I can use to answer this question. So basically, to put everything in a nutshell, how effectively, it all depends on the training, as I mentioned, and also the people who are training it. If these two things work well, then it can be used effectively. But if it has poor training, and also as Pierre mentioned just now, the people are biased towards something, then the AI cannot be really effective in these kinds of situations. Now, does that answer your question, Afnan? Teacher Afnan?
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Amin.
Okay, shukran jazilan. That is all from me. Thank you very much, everyone.
Alright. Thank you, Amir Zakaria, and thank you, Teacher Afnan and Dr. Pierre for asking such critical question. Who, what, and how. Who created the AI? What do we do with it? And how do we use it? It's all a very interesting question, actually. So, it is a reminder that as we advance in technology, maintaining accountability and control is just as crucial as the innovation itself, right? Right now, to delve even further into the discussion, let's welcome our last speaker for today, Ku Adaparif, who will give a talk about the benefits of AI in industries. Thank you once again, Amir Zakaria, for laying such strong foundation for today's dialogue.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone for making this webinar possible and for joining me here today. I'm here to talk about one of the most transformative forces of our time, artificial intelligence, or in short for AI, and its applications across various industries. All right, before we begin, I want you to think about when was the last time you used AI? When was the last time you used ChatGPT or scrolled down TikTok and YouTube just to see recommended videos in your feed? AI has been seamlessly melded into our life nowadays, and there is the same thing happening to various industries. AI has been moved beyond being just a futuristic concept, and today it plays a pivotal role in industries such as healthcare, finance, manufacturing, transportation, retail, and even agriculture. What's particularly exciting is the concept of AI plus, where AI is integrated with technologies like Internet of Things, cloud computing, and the blockchain. At the same time, Plus AI focuses on embedding AI deeply into specific workflows, driving businesses' outcome with precision. Let's explore how Plus AI and AI Plus are revolutionizing these industries with real-world applications. My first point is AI in healthcare. AI has already transformed diagnosis, discovery, and patient care. How, you may ask? Well, let's first explore how AI improves diagnostics. AI power tools like those from Google DeepMind analyze X-rays and MRIs faster than radiologists. Hospitals also use AI chatbots to triage patients, giving doctors more time to focus on critical cases, such as replacing checkups for common cases as the slight cold or fever. AI can also be used to help in predictive healthcare with AI plus Internet of Things. Many people nowadays already wear devices such as smartwatches. You might be wearing one right now. But did you know that AI can be implemented in them to monitor health rate, oxygen levels, and even physical activity? The AI can then use the data from your Internet of Things for early disease detection, such as arrhythmia. All right, next, let's look at the AI in manufacturing. In the manufacturing industry, AI and AI plus systems can enhance production lines, therefore improving quality control and helps reduce unwanted downtime in maintenance. AI can also help in computer vision systems to identify defects in products on the assembly line faster than any human inspectors ever could. Companies like Siemens already integrated AI with robotics to streamline the production processes and to adapt to any changes in demand. But for me, the best use of AI in manufacturing is for the supply chain optimization, where AI can forecast demand and help with managing inventory by optimizing and analyzing market trends, weather patterns, and predict production schedules. These applications illustrate the power of AI, embedding AI deeply into the manufacturing process to achieve zero defect production and higher efficiency. Next up, let's look at how the finance sector uses AI to improve fraud detection, credit assessment, and customer service. First of all, AI can improve fraud detection by analyzing transaction patterns and detect suspicious and potential fraudulent behavior and report them in real time. Using AI in fraud detection can also enhance security systems to protect digital wallets and online transactions by detecting any malicious activities or anomalies. AI can also be implemented into traditional scoring models that can allow banks to assess creditworthiness using non-traditional data such as utility bills, transactions, and online behavior. The AI can also use the data in the portfolio manager to predict risky transactions and helps investors make better, thoughtful decisions.
Con questi ritmi l'Occidente è stato accantonato, ma per una ragione molto semplice.
AI has already been implemented into banks and companies right now, but the use of AI chatbots that handle general routine inquiries that improve customer satisfaction and reduce any additional operator costs. With AI deeply embedded in the financial workflows, companies benefit from faster decision making, higher security, and better customer experiences. The next point we will discuss how AI plays a crucial role in transforming transportation and building an ever-evolving smarter city. I'm sure you've already heard of companies like Tesla and Waymo that are already relying on AI to develop their self-driving cars that use real-time data from cameras, radars, lidar sensors, and even space satellites. Drivers can be put to ease thanks to the AI-enhanced safety features of the vehicles, as it can predict traffic patterns and avoid real-time accidents that might occur on the road. One way AI can help with traffic is by predicting the traffic flow and adjust signal timings that can help cities to reduce congestion and emissions. AI can also be embedded in public transport. Therefore, using the predictive algorithm to help optimize bus and train schedules, therefore ensuring smooth operations even during busy and peak hours. Ride-hailing services such as Grab can also benefit from the algorithm to match demand and supply efficiently. Those are the AI plus applications that can make cities more livable and public transport systems more sustainable for the future. Equally as important, let's look how AI in retail is redefining customer experiences and optimizing supply chains. As you have made known, AI is ever prevalent in the personalized recommendation that analyze behavior customer patterns to provide personalized recommendations to any users to improve conversation rates. Widely known platforms such as Amazon or more specifically Shopee already use the AI to predict demand and to ensure timely restocking of products, ensuring a smooth experience for customers and users alike. Like the one mentioned in finance before, chatbots are also relevant in the e-commerce section. AI can create a seamless shopping experience by assisting customers in finding their products and also resolving any queries in real time. But on the other side, retailers also can use AI and Internet of Things enabled warehouses to monitor their stock levels and to automate their restocking processes. As you can see from the benefits, with AI enhancing retail workflows, businesses can offer better customer experiences and to reduce any additional operational costs. Finally, let's talk how AI can be implemented in agriculture to increase crop yields and significantly reduce the environmental impact on our Earth. One of the ways that AI can improve is by precision agriculture, where it analyzes satellite images such as weather data and soil condition to provide tailored recommendation for the irrigation and fertilization of soil. There's already an application of this where drones that are equipped with AI cameras can be used to detect crop diseases early so that it can enable quick and timely interventions. The supply chain can also benefit from AI that forecasts market demand and optimize crop distribution, therefore minimizing any waste and maximizing profits. AI Plus in agriculture ensures farming practices that can meet the growing global food demand. Before I can conclude my discussion, we need to first clarify the challenges and future trends of using AI. While AI has many benefits, there are a few key challenges They need to be overcome, such as security and privacy concerns, as well as the transparency and governance. Firstly, AI-powered systems are very vulnerable to cyber attacks and data breaches, making it essential to secure data across the entire ecosystem and the database. What's more, AI systems must be transparent and explainable to avoid any biases and errors. Regulatory frameworks such as the European Union's AI Act are already being introduced to ensure responsible AI use and to punish any malicious actors abusing it. Looking forward, AI will become even more integrated into industries, into the rise of 5G, quantum computing, and edge AI. The future holds many exciting possibilities, but it will also require collaboration between government, businesses, and researchers to address these challenges. Therefore, in conclusion, AI and AI Plus are driving unprecedented innovation across various multiple industries, from smarter healthcare to and autonomous vehicles into personalized retail and sustainable farming. The applications of AI are diverse and transformative. As we embed AI deeper into the workflows and combine it with other technologies, industries are becoming more efficient, resilient, and sustainable. However, to harness the full potential of AI, we must first address the challenges, as I said before, around security, privacy, and governance. With the right framework and collaboration, AI can help build us a better future for everyone. Now, before I can go to the Q&A section, I would like to take a moment for a pop quiz. The first question is, name 2 industries that AI has been implemented in. You can answer in the chat box below. And secondly, what are the security issues related to the usage of AI in industries? I will give you a moment to answer. I see some answers ready. And for the first question, yes, healthcare, finance, agriculture, etc. All the points mentioned before all have various AI implemented in them. And for the second answer, it is privacy issues such as possible data breaches or any lack of transparency and explainability. Now, we will go to the Q&A session. Feel free to ask me anything. I see a question right here. What kinds of data must be protected? That is a very good question. Well, there are multiple data that must be protected from any malicious actors that they are planning to use it for harmful or potentially life-ruining behavior. For example, we must protect the financial information of any banks. So, as for example, bank account details, credit card numbers, and also transaction histories. This is dangerous as if compromised, they could be used to enable fraud or theft if accessed. The other data that must be protected is personalized information such as your name, full name, your home address, and your social security number. For your name and address, it is very dangerous as any data breach, and so the malicious actor can also be used to maybe hunt you down, which is very dangerous. That's why this data must be protected at all costs. Does that answer your question? All right. If that's all the questions, thank you very much for listening to my speech.
Alright. Thank you, Kepada Farid, for such a comprehensive look at the transformative power of AI and AI plus. I think that from enhancing test. Um, okay, I think that from enhancing the industries to driving innovative application, it's clear that AI is revolutionizing our world, right? But as they say, sometimes things seems too good to be true. It might have some hidden downsides. AI, like any powerful tool, has its own drawbacks. Not everything is sunshine and rainbow, right? So I think one major area of concern is privacy. As AI continues to gather and process many amounts of data, or especially personal data, we have to ask, does it protect our privacy or put it at risk? That's exactly what we are here to discuss in our forum later. So before our forum starts, I would like to ask the participant to scan the QR code for those who missed this morning. I will give the participant like 5 minutes to scan our QR code before I start our forum. Yep. Another reminder for participants to scan the QR code for those who missed it this morning. Okay. Alright, it's time to start our forum now. Alright, so according to Stanford University's new article, AI system poses many of the same privacy risks that have been facing during the past decades of internet modernization and mostly unrestrained data collection, right? Why, you might ask? Did you all aware that all of those rumors that have been lingering around for these past years saying that, oh no, the company is stealing our information or they are tracking our data using mobile devices or even CCTVs. Or most common one is they are listening to us. Well, lo and behold, because those rumors are true. But this time, it is more crystal clear that they are doing those things to us all this time. And the question is, how? So right now, since everyone can make their own AI, more people are aware that the way we train our AI is not so ethical. When we train our AI models, especially for tasks like facial recognition, we need a large amount of data to make them accurate and reliable. While consented data is ideal source, such as Kaggle, we often find ourselves limited in how much we have available to train the model. So, where do we turn next? The answer is public spaces. Public spaces such as Instagram or Facebook, Twitter, all of those things, these platforms are full of publicly accessible images and information, which can be used to improve our AI models. However, even though this data is publicly available, people who post on these platforms may not realize that their content are being used for AI training. So this brings up the significant ethical and privacy concern as people haven't explicitly agreed for their data to be used this way. Therefore, back to our main topic here, I can see that the vast potential in using AI as a core, but how does one ensure that the data collected for training purposes do not fall in the wrong hands? Let's say that in the medical industry where tons of data will be collected, how does AI or perhaps the human protect the confidentiality of those patients' information? Any speaker would like to answer?
Yes, Moderator, I would like to answer that question because I feel like it's more related to my speech just now, since the solution to that is actually very simple. One word: control. Now, before I go forward in explaining why control is important, let's just look at the ramifications of your data being leaked or breached. Now, Moderator, imagine this situation. You are going to the hospital and you put in your personal details, your name, your registration card, insurance number, etc. And then one day, maybe a week after you put all of those information, it has been revealed that the hospital itself, the system experienced a data leak, a breach, and your data is online for everyone to see. How would you feel about that?
I would feel very unsafe and probably would sue them.
Hmm. And that is a valid concern because again, it's your information. Nowadays there are so many types of scams, especially in phishing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with phishing, so I'll just explain what phishing is in a nutshell. It's just basically, let's say you get an email saying that, oh yeah, I am a billionaire, I want to give you $1 billion, but before I do that, you must pay a fee of $100 before I can give you the money. Now, if you choose to pay that, congratulations, you don't get the money, you got scammed. And with that, you might be wondering, how come your information is used in that? Well, let's say that, for example, if I'm working in a office, okay, and my information has been leaked online, the people in charge of the phishing itself can manipulate the email to make it sound much more important. Maybe they can put in my boss's name or the company's name saying that, oh yeah, we have a important event coming up, but you need to pay this much. And this is where something called social engineering comes in. Now, as I previously mentioned, humans do have feelings, empathy, sympathy, all that. So we are vulnerable to social engineering itself. Best examples of social engineering include phishing, of course, just now. They manipulate you into thinking that there is something that you need to participate in. And then once you participate, they could, let's say, steal your account, turn it into a zombie, a bot, and use it in large scale DDoS attacks or crypto mining. By the way, for your information, DDoS attacks it stands for denial of service. It's basically, I'm not sure how to describe this in simple terms, but it's a situation where let's say that you have multiple bot accounts on the same server running at the same time, and it causes a service to go down temporarily for a long time. That is basically a DDoS attack. And also, as I said, phishing. So how do we prevent all of this from happening to us, all of our information from being leaked online? Do I just use AI? Do I just depend on humans? The answer is no for both. Both need to collaborate closely with each other. Now, if if you decide to use a AI, fully automated AI defense system for your information, yes, it's all fine and dandy. You're using a fully automated system. It will detect all sorts of scams. But you have to remember, the brain of the AI itself consists of coding. Now, since most of you over here are computer science students, I am very sure all of you are familiar with manipulating coding. You know all of these fancy IDEs, you know how to change the coding to work in your favor. It's the same thing for AI. You can manipulate the AI through its coding into working for you instead of against you. So let's say we have a fully automated system altogether, and all the hacker needs to do, all the intruder needs to do to get your information is to basically figure out what type of algorithm the AI itself is using. And from there, the intruder can basically just exploit the algorithm itself. But Amir, you might ask, nowadays we have lots of different algorithms, lots of different security measures. Everything's so advanced. How come this is not, how come this can be breakable? This also comes with a very simple answer. Nothing is unbreakable. In World War II, the Enigma code was used by the German soldiers to basically hide their communications from the Allied soldiers. But during this time, this was considered advanced. This was considered unbreakable. But there was a computer scientist, I'm sure most of you are familiar with him, Alan Turing, who managed to break the code itself. And this was during World War II. Now we are in 2024. Lots of different technologies exist. Lots of different advancements exist. So these advancements can be used against us by simply exploiting the code. Now, how about we depend on a system that is fully run by humans? What's going to happen? As I said just now, first of all, social engineering. People are vulnerable to these kind of things. And social engineering is done by using OSINT, open source intelligence gathering. Now, what is OSINT? OSINT is basically the action of getting information from online sources, from your social media, from your LinkedIn. And I myself, I have participated in a hackathon recently, was assigned to do some OSINT tasks. And I just realized that whenever you have something online, people can find out lots of information, even from just a picture. Like in the competition itself, I was assigned to find the information about a car, okay, the owner of the car, the location, and all that. And all I was given was just a picture of the car burning. Now I thought this was impossible, but then when I tried it out, it turns out it was quite straightforward. I found out the vehicle identification number, the owner of the car, the location of where it happened, and such. And all that was from one single picture. Now imagine how much more damage could be done if you constantly post online. Like for example, maybe you're a celebrity or a politician, you constantly post things online. Now these things can be used to craft a perfect social engineering attack, such as the phishing scams that I mentioned just now. And from there, that you might end up falling victim to one of those. But if AI and humans work together in collaboration with each other, just like Venom and his hosts, I'm not sure if you have watched the movie Venom before. If they work together, your privacy of your data
there is a less likely chance of your data being leaked online. Like for example, in a hospital system, there must be a AI protecting it, and at the same time, there must also be a security expert monitoring the AI and also monitoring the transactions that are being used inside of the hospital system. And lastly, to reiterate a point that I mentioned earlier in the talk, AI you could imagine it as an infant, a baby. Now, moderator, I want to ask you, do you have any siblings, any younger siblings?
No, actually.
Okay. So let's say that you have a baby sister, and you ask your baby sister, Dek, boleh tak tolong masakkan Maggi? What's going to happen? Let's say your baby sister is 5 years old, and you ask her to cook for you.
She will say, I don't know, or nggak gerti.
Okay, correct. And at the same time, maybe there's a chance, yes, she will try to do it, but she might end up causing a huge mess. Now, that is in context of humans. In context of AI altogether, okay, as I mentioned just now, AI is an infant. It does not know anything. So if you just fully depend on it 100%, it's going to lead to disasters. And as I said just now, the coding itself can be manipulated. So that's why both humans and AI have to work together to protect your data from being involved in all sorts of breaches and leaks. Now, moderator, have I answered your question?
I think you are excellent. Very excellent. Anyways, before we moving on, I would like to tell to the participant that you can interrupt in this forum discussion, because the objective for this discussion is to share knowledge and to gather here as a melting pot, and we exchange all of our information or our opinions too. Maybe like in Malaysia we think this issue is something else, maybe in Indonesia they think it's something else also. So okay. All right. So next question. In terms of cybersecurity, of course there will be lots of data be delivered and received during those transactions, right? But how does the usage of AI guarantee that these data transfers are fully safe? What kinds of countermeasures are being deployed against attacks such as the man in the middle? I think this question is those to speaker one. I mean, speak because this is your field of expertise. Will you please?
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that question, moderator Hasif. That's a really good question. How AI can be integrated, right, to make a system more robust? Well, before I say anything, I do want to clarify that AI does not really guarantee that a system will be secured. AI is just a tool, and AI just I call it analysis tool that we use that to understand some kind of hidden relationship in some kind of data, right? That's how we use AI to integrate stuff. So we use the data itself. The data itself is the important part of AI, actually. So when you ask the question, right, what if there's a middle of the man attack, right? Man in the middle attack, MITM. So maybe we can clarify first what is a MITM, which is a man in the middle attack. So imagine you are talking to someone, right? You're talking to someone, maybe you guys are having a fun conversation. Maybe there's you as a sender, you would send a message to a receiver, right? Someone that is listening. And then there's someone that you don't know. There's some weirdos just came in and then just listened to the whole conversation, and just eavesdropping to the whole thing. And this is the what's supposed to be the confidential. What if this is supposed to be a confidential kind of conversation, right? And you don't want anyone to listen to it. It's a very information sensitive conversation, and there's someone gonna just listening, just eavesdropping. So this is like what is a man in the middle attack. It's just that by the name itself, someone who is listening or eavesdropping to any kind of transaction happening. So how can we use AI to make it more secure for this kind of attack does not really happen? Well, first of all, I do think by using AI capabilities in terms of like how you can train it, and then on network behavior and monitor real-time traffic. And we can, by using in this within data set, we can detect an unusual pattern that could indicate an attack. And of course, algorithm, they can look for any kind of irregularities in terms of maybe they can see such as like a very strange IP addresses. Maybe they can check for unexpected latency when you usually there's when you know if you have a stable connection, you know how much time it will take for that message to be sent, and maybe maybe on average it will send out in maybe like 2 milliseconds every single time, and then suddenly there's going to be increase in the latency. Maybe it will become 4 ms, and then we can see, oh, there's a bit of irregularities that happen in terms of latency. And maybe there's a unusual traffic pattern. Maybe you can see it, oh, maybe why it suddenly increased in traffic, and then we know that there's going to be there's someone listening in your conversation. And this is very much a typical indicator for man in the middle attack. And I do think another way we can use AI is that, which is a very interesting way of looking at it, because as you know, humans have their own some kind of behavioral pattern, and one way that we can use that to our advantage here, right, is that we can use some kind of algorithm. We can design an algorithm that uh, recognize someone pattern, such as maybe the typing speed, the mouse movement, and maybe even the device location, to identify any of this irregular behavior that is happening to this person. And this might be a system that we can use to indicate that there is a compromise session during this transaction. And I do think there's since it uses this AI, right? All of this AI pattern recognition uh, capabilities, and we can use this all of this different kind of ways to identify any kind of possible attack vectors in real time. So we can stop an attacker from allowing them access sensitive information about you, the user. And I do think there's a fun way, I think, in terms of encryption. The one paper that I read about is that using a dynamic key exchange, where AI can facilitate a frequent changes in encryption keys based on the contextual data, making it very difficult for man-in-the-middle attack to be used or to keep up. Um, while I do think AI enhances cybersecurity defenses, and like I said before, when we innovating, they're also innovating for a newer attack. So attackers are constantly developing a newer attack method. So we as a defender must also continuously updating our defense security. And furthermore, I do think adversarial AI poses a challenge where attacker use AI to outsmart the defensive AI model itself. Thus, I do think there's a continuous propagation and also continual upgrades and vigilant monitoring on the current system and the system in the future. Does that answer your question, moderator?
All right, thank you, Amish. I think that answered my question. Any participant or speakers who would like to chime in or add some few points?
If I may, moderator, I would like to add in.
Sure, Zakaria.
Okay, so just now, Amir Sufi, he mentioned something really interesting, which is AI should not be dependent on it. It's not really your magic genie in the bottle. It's just merely a tool. Now, there's one thing that people don't really discuss about AI that much, which is on one side, we have AI that stands for artificial intelligence. Can be intelligent just like ChatGPT or maybe my FYP, the 20 question algorithm that determines your level of stress. But at the same time, AI could stand for another thing, and forgive my language, artificial idiot. Now, why am I saying something like this, you may ask? Because the situations where AI, maybe it's poorly trained, or maybe the algorithm itself is not really optimal to the problem. Because in computer science, we basically apply the correct algorithm to the correct problem. If you use a different algorithm, it might be maybe inefficient, or it might not even manage to solve the problem in the first place. So basically, these examples of AI being artificial idiots is like the example that I discussed with Pierre just now, where the AI was meant to be a chatbot that is friendly on Twitter, but in the end, it has been trained to become a AI that says both really racist remarks and also really bad takes on societal issues. And that's the key here. Like AI itself is not really a genie in the bottle. It's not some magic that you can use to solve everything. In the end, it's just merely a tool that you use to improve your life or improve your work. And you can't really depend on it 100%, which is why, as I said just now, AI and humans must work together, but you cannot really depend on AI 100%. Humans must also have the knowledge. That's all from me. Thank you, moderator.
Thank. Can I also want to interject on that point a little bit.
Sure.
I do agree when Ms. Zakara said of that artificial what is it? Artificial idiot, was it? Yeah, artificial idiot. Because I think people have some kind of misconception about AI, even though it's called artificial intelligence. AI system does not really have an inherent intelligence inside of them. They don't really have they have a very good analyzation capabilities, but they don't have a way to make that analyzation data something meaningful. Like we as a human, we need to determine the what's the data that come out of that system and determine if that's something meaningful or not. Because I think recently people have been too over. I think with the advent of ChatGPT, people have been a little bit what you call it, over reliant on ChatGPT. That people think that ChatGPT can do anything. There's a thing that happening called a ChatGPT hallucination, where we think that the answer that came out of ChatGPT is correct, but it's actually not. They're just making up some kind of answer. And when Amir Zakir said about making a racist remark, right? And one of the things that I do have that any kind of AI system have a problem is that a very biased data set can really make data, what kind of any kind of data set being used in the system can be a huge determination whether the AI system is work or not. Like there's a need for like a very high quality in terms of volume and also in quality in data set itself to make AI system to be usable. And if there's any kind of biases or any kind of imperfection in terms of data that is being used to feed into the AI system itself, the AI will not work. It will not be accurate at all. So it's a bit tedious to be. It's very tedious to use. What was it again? What did you say about artificial intelligence? Amizaka? Artificial idiot. Yeah. And yeah, we call artificial intelligence an idiot, but you as a human don't be an idiot. Try to use it very smartly. Yeah.
And to your point, Sophie, I want to add into your point also. Yes.
Sure.
I agree that for Sophie's point is that they think that the AI is some sort of magical tool. They think it's like a living brain, but in actuality and factual, it is not. It is just a bunch of data that is compressed, and once someone ask a question to the AI will search through its database and it will pick up the most suitable answer. So it's not like a brain where it can function, it can think, it can make hypotheses, it can make decisions based on the context. No, it just searches through its database only, and it will pick the most, like I said, appropriate answer. But sometimes, if the database inside the AI is wrong, like such as what Amir said, bias, it can give the fairly wrong answer or even illegal answer, such as when before so that happened in the news where ChatGPT, like someone asked ChatGPT to make a bomb, and because of because of the errors and biases, ChatGPT actually can it did give on instructions how to make a bomb, which goes to the ethical issues of AI also, where the developers need to control on the legality and ethical issues of AI so that it will not have any bias, errors, or even any illegal repercussions. Yeah, that is my point.
Yeah, oh, sorry, moderator. Is it okay?
You have any like points to add?
It's okay if I just yeah, I agree with Ko Adam Harith on that point. Yeah, like I think we as a human very reliant on the AI system itself, but in actuality, the reality of the situation is that AI system are the one that reliant on us to give them a very good data set. And like he said, if we give them a wrong answer, maybe if we can actually convince a AI system that something is gonna be right, if we give them enough data that say maybe 1 plus 1 is 4, it will give out that 1 plus 1 is 4, even though the actual reality, if we use quote unquote logic, the logic behind a certain thing is that 1 plus 1 is not 4, it's 2, right? But AI intelligence does not really know that. They don't know that. They don't have that logical sense that to know that 1 plus 1 is 2. So yeah, I do agree with Ko Harith Adam. Ko Adam, I'm sorry.
So you guys already made your point. I think that most three of you gave a really good point on this matter. So okay, moving on for, I think this is the last question. For Ko Adam Harith, I would like to know your opinion. So you touched upon various applications of AI, right, in various industries, which is quite interesting actually. However, how does AI on its own is able to preserve the privacy of its users and not compromise the integrity nor confidentiality of the users themselves? How can we be so confident that whatever collected by the AI will be in safe hands? Please go on.
That is a very good question, because as your question, people also, like whether young or old, they look at AI and they see this as like a scary thing, because you don't know whether it's safe to use. For example, like Amir said before, like maybe it will be like, like stupid or racist, stuff like that. But yeah, to fix that, we need to ensure that the developers and especially the governance side, where AI is fully transparent. What do I mean by transparent is that the developers will document everything the AI does, from where the AI gets the data from, into the process, into what sort of the data that the AI will take from the internet, so that it will be transparent, so that we will know what's inside the AI before we use it. And also that some AI systems can also follow principles to understand the context of what they collected, and so that it will know how it's used, and also who has access to the data, so that it will make users more confident in what the AI will say, such as ChatGPT, where they already refined it multiple times throughout various multiple data sets, but they never pick like a bad side of the internet. They only carefully curated the specific good sides, such as information, like maybe some scholars, some studies where there's all the good data, and they filter out all the bad data so that you will be confident that ChatGPT is very smart. Another thing we can use is by maybe encrypting all the data of the AI. What I mean by that is that you can make a special kind of encryption where the AI can access the data, but it will not need to encrypt or know what's the data. What's the data? For example, like it needs to know like your information, but then you don't want to give them the full information. So the AI will only take what's necessary only, not the full context. Like maybe only your name, so that it will know the context and stuff. So that, but then the other important AI is that AI needs to be regularly updated or audited, so that it will be updated with the latest data, or it will need to iron out all the errors and biases, so that users can be confident in what the AI and the data it will feed will be very 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 confident in the data, and the AI will be very safe to use. Well, are there any speakers that would like to add to my point?
I guess I would like to interject a little bit on that point. I think how we, I think there's no inherent thing that AI can make the data being used is safe or not. I think ultimately it is being decided by the person that create the system itself, the human, by practicing safe uses in terms of data acquisition and practicing consensual data acquisition is very important when we're creating some kind of AI system, right? Like if we like for example, right, I think we've heard the news where uh, artists in artistic spaces, they're they created an art, right? And even though it was not being consented to fair use to any of this big company to feed off their art into their own AI system, um, and use that system to create some kind of financial gain. And even though all of this art they use, they don't even see any kind of compensation from the art, right? Right. Even though the company themselves, they feed off this art, right? They gain a lot of money, but they don't even give anything back to the actual creator. And this is also being happen using with the advent of autopilot, I think, Microsoft Autopilot, because I think recently they found out that autopilot has been using a lot of data from GitHub and use that to feed off into their own autopilot. And sorry, Copilot, was it? Microsoft Copilot, why not? Microsoft Copilot, right? Yeah, Microsoft Copilot. So I think the biggest thing that you can do to make something safe or not is consent. If we can consent and transparency, like who Adam Harris said, if we can be transparent about how the data is being used and how our data is going to be used in AI, right, we can give out our consent or not if we allow that our data, our intelligence property to be used for that other person gain, right? So yeah, I think that was my point.
any speakers want to add on or disagree with it? Or even
Yes, actually, I would like to add on something. It's okay.
sure, we have time. We have time.
Okay, so to add on both what Amir Sufi and Ko Adam said, yes, the important things in creating a data set itself is both consent, transparency. Now, these two things really important because, as Amir Sufi said just now, whatever you put into the AI itself, just imagine the AI as a little infant, a baby. Whatever you teach the baby, okay, whatever you teach it, it's going to affect the results. Let's say Amisufi, for example, you have a baby brother, and you teach your baby brother how to use, let's say, a match. What will happen? Like he's 5 years old. What do you think would happen?
If I give a lighting mesh to my little brother, I mean, if I didn't teach him how to use the lighter, I don't think he'll do anything with it.
But let's say you taught him how to use a lighter. What will happen?
Rumah terbakar.
Your house will be on fire. Yes.
Yeah.
So that is in the the that is basically how humans work, and it's the same thing for AI. Okay. Yes, you can teach the AI to do anything you want with the data sets, manipulate the data sets altogether. But if you give it the wrong data set, and at the same time, if you, for example, unethically, like what Amir Sufi said, unethically get the data sets without any consent from the original owners, then it's going to end up with a disaster. And maybe at a bigger scale, because nowadays we can see AI is going to be implemented. There are plans of AI that is going to be implemented in most, especially government sectors. So in this case, in this context, it is very, very important that the data sets must not only be ethically sourced from, but at the same time, the data source itself must be transparent. Where is the data coming from? Is it biased? Is it, let's say, going to be used for a good purpose? In the question that teacher often asked me just now, a situation where there's a disaster, is the AI going to be more biased towards countries, let's say, for example, in the Middle East? Or is it going to be more biased in the countries, European countries? This all depends on how the data is received, how the data is input inside of the AI itself, and at the same time, it all depends on where or why the AI and the data sets are created in the first place. So yes, I agree with both Amir Sufi and Kuadam. Consent and also transparency are really two important things when you are creating a data set for an artificial intelligence, because these two things can determine whether your artificial intelligence is going to be actually intelligent or, as I said, artificial idiot. That's all from me, moderator. Thank you.
All right. I think both of
Can
three
I?
of you guys.
Oh,
Another one, right?
sorry. No,
Alright,
no.
fine,
Just
fine.
I just want to say a little bit like about a piece about regulation in terms of AI system, especially something like ChatGPT, where it has been used as some kind of Google, right? It has been used for. Okay, wait. Someone is getting mad at me. Okay, wait. But anyway, like, let me just say this real quick. I think regulation is good when we use a AI system to gain some kind of information, but at the same time, over regulation is also bad, where the rights to have information to things has been taken away from people. I do think if someone needs some kind of knowledge, they do have the right to gain it. But regulation is good. Over regulation is bad. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
Right, thank you, three of you guys. Since the director wants me to continue with the questions for the forum, so okay, let's start. So the first question is for the viewers. What is the key in maintaining privacy when using AI? What is the key in maintaining privacy when using AI? Any viewers, participant, anyone who would like to answer? Test. Yep. Anyone would like to answer what is the key in maintaining privacy when using AI? The hint, okay, I give you guys a hint. It start with with the letter C. Amir Zakaria has mentioned it multiple times already. Yes, correct. Then the Takif Muhammad Fikri. So I would like to, Amir, would you please explain where is the answer is control?
Okay, so yes, control is the key in maintaining the safe usage and also your privacy, because in the end of the day, no matter how advanced your AI is, no matter how good your algorithm is, how good your countermeasures are, there is a requirement of you to need a way to switch it off, because sometimes human ingenuity it's way more better than what artificial intelligence can do. And yes, as I mentioned many times just now, humans must collaborate with AI, but humans must not depend on AI altogether. Because if you depend on AI, it might lead to unforeseen consequences. But if you work together with AI as a tool, then it's going to lower your chances of you getting into really bad situations altogether. Yes, thank you. That's all.
Alright, thank you Amir Zakaria and thank you Dede Takif. You can claim with me 50 ringgit after this session. Alright, second question. What kinds of data must be protected? Such as like bank info, I, I accidentally leave out one of the questions, one of the answers. Alright, what kinds of data must be protected? Everything except bank info because I just accidentally give you guys the answer. Private address. Correct. Thank you, Nur Arisa dan ya Abdul Rashid. The answer is private address. It can also be anything like passwords or like email addresses, something like that. So, Ku Adam, would you like to explain why this?
Yes, it's very important for you to protect the data such as your private address because it can be used by strangers for malicious activity. Maybe they can dox you, maybe they can find your home address and maybe mail you like something hazardous, dangerous, or maybe potential life endangering, maybe like a pipe bomb inside your mailbox. So that is very dangerous. That's why you need to protect the data set from anything. That is correct.
Alright, thank you, Ku Adam, Haris, and Nur Arisa dan ya Abdul Rashid. The last question. What is man in the middle attack? Viewers would like to speak up, unmute your mic, chat in the text box. Any answer from the Indonesian side? Sri Wijaya? Malaysia. Muhammad Daniel Ifan Daruddin. Interception of info. That is correct. Alright. So, Amir Sufi, would you explain me more further on about the made in the middle attack, MIT? Amir Sufi.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My my computer just lost battery already. Anyway.
Fine.
So yeah. What was the question again?
Would you explain even in detail about the MIT attack?
Yeah. I mean, the answer is the answer is already like quite informational and like quite provide like a lot of information by itself. Yeah, interception of info where man in the middle attack, right? It's basically when someone is listening to the conversation or some kind of transaction is being happen at the like at the time. So maybe they use some kind of interception where they become the middle the person in the middle of the transaction, so they can just listen in into the information itself, or some kind of confidential transaction is being happen. So yeah, I think that's like answer the question. Oh yeah.
Thank you, Daniel Irfan and Ami Sufi. Alright, since we have time left, does anyone would like to ask any question? The doesn't matter for Sriwijaya or ITM side, overseas. Kalau ada, sini banyak kita. If you guys have, can unmute. Or just type in the text box. Or maybe raise your hand first because I would like to know if there is any question being typed on. Question, alright. Gak ada ya? Gak ada? Alright, so I would like to end this session with a very big thanks to Amir Zakaria, Amir Sufi and Kuadam Haris. And I would like to give back to Siti Zulaim, our MC.
Thank you to our esteemed speakers and moderator for the entertaining and informative talk and forum discussion. Your knowledge and perspective have truly added great value to today's program. Let's give them a round of applause for their excellent contributions. Ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the conclusion of today's program, it is my honor to introduce our Professor Professional Technologies, Dr. Wan Abdul Rahim Wan Muhammad Isa, Dean of Academy and International, for the closing remarks. Throughout the day, we have engaged in insightful discussions, gained valuable perspective, and expanded our understanding of the critical topics presented. None of this would have been possible without the incredible collaborations of our speakers, participants, and committee. Now, to formally conclude this remarkable program, please join me in welcoming the Dean of Academy and International to give the closing speech.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Greetings to all. Salam UiTM di hatiku. Salam Malaysia Madani. Thank you to the Master of Ceremony. I would like to acknowledge to the TS Dr. Surya Sumarni, the advisor as well as the lecturer for the ICT for this particular course, and as well to the esteemed speakers. I'm so proud to acknowledge Mr. Muhammad Amir Sufi Zulkifli, Mr. Amir Zakaria, and also Ku Adam Harif bin Ku Asmawi, and along with the academic staff, Fakultas Ilmu Komputer Universitas Sriwijaya, Indonesia, KPPIM College of Computing Informatics and Mathematics, students, and all our esteemed guests. Alhamdulillah, let us express our deepest gratitude to Allah Almighty. We have been given the opportunity to gather at the webinar program AI, a game changer for industry. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all the committees. I believe all the committees are physically inside two labs. We have two laboratories at the complex Al-Khawarizmi College of Computing Informatics and Mathematics, also known as KPPIM. And also to our respected guests from Universitas Sriwijaya, Indonesia, as well as other virtual attendees. This proves that despite the geographical distance, technology today has brought us closer together, Alhamdulillah. Today's program is part of the SULAM, Service Learning Malaysia initiative by the College of Computing Informatics and Mathematics, which aspire to foster synergy between the university and also society. Through Service Learning Malaysia, or also known as SULAM, students are provided with opportunity to witness firsthand how knowledge they have acquired can be applied, to meet the needs and aspiration of the society. And the webinar today holds even more meaning as it involves our strategic partners, from Universitas Sriwijaya Indonesia. Yeah, I think this provide opportunity for the exchange of up-to-date knowledge, yeah, and sharing of knowledge as well. It opens new perspective in education, thereby enriching the scope of students' knowledge and skill. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, before I conclude, I would like to thank again all the speakers and participants from Universitas Sriwijaya Indonesia, KPPIM, and all the virtual attendees. Congratulations to the entire organizing committee for the webinar. Yeah, and thank you so much to everyone who was involved, whether directly or indirectly, in the success of SULAM KPPIM 2024 program. Yeah, with the words of Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby declare the closing of SULAM KPPIM 2020 SULAM KPPIM 2024 program. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Professor D.S. Dr. Wan Abdul Rahim wa Muhammad Isa, for your thoughtful and inspiring words. We are grateful for your presence in this program. Before we conclude, I invite all participants to recognize for a group connection. So, as this is a time for the photo session. We'll give everyone a moment to get ready. Please turn on your cameras and make sure that you're in the frame. The first photo will be a formal one. Ready? In 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, the next 2 photos will be freestyle. Okay, freestyle. Ready? In 1, 2, 3, freestyle. Okay, last one. It is also a freestyle photo. So let's go. In 1, 2, 3, freestyle. Okay. Thank you all for your cooperation and those wonderful smiles. We would like to express our deepest appreciation and gratitude to the esteemed speakers for their willingness to join us for this morning webinar session. We hope that all the insights and information shared regarding AI and its impact on industries can be applied in our respective fields. Attention to all participants. The QR code feedback form is now displayed on the screen. Kindly scan and complete the feedback to receive the e-certificates for today's program. We'll give a few minutes to the participants to fill up the feedback form. With that, I, Siti Zulaikha binti Muhammad Faizul Nizam, on behalf of the committee, humbly apologize for any shortcomings or mistakes made throughout this program. Indeed, all good comes from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, and any shortcomings are from our own self. In closing, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.